Welcome to all our virtual friends here in Robertson County. My name is Jenna Landers, and I am an education specialist with Decisions, Choices, and Options. I am here with our education team, Beth Cox and Claire Foltz. You may be very familiar with us, or you could be new and wondering what DCO does and who we are. Today we want to share with you who we are and the incredible impact DCO has on students who attend schools in Robertson County. Here is a short video about our organization.
When DCO began in the fall of 2002, our primary focus at that time was on communicating with teens about the consequences of sexual activity, primarily the impact of teenage pregnancy, and the choices facing those involved with teen pregnancy, the realities, the truthful information about what those choices truly looked like, and that the outcome of the choices could impact the trajectory of not only the teen's life, but the life of a child. Over the past 18 years, we have grown and expanded our mission, our vision, and our educational programs to include optimal, holistic education to youth ages 11 to 19. We accomplish this by teaching what is known as sexual risk avoidance education programs, which are medically, scientifically, and factually accurate information on optimal health prevention. What we want them to understand is that optimal health involves risk avoidance. That's taught in pretty much every aspect of health education. For example, you teach young people and adults, if you smoke, stop and don't start. That's the best option. Or if you're vaping, stop. If you're drinking and driving, stop. If you're bullying, stop. When young people are taught to value who they are and to see that self-restraint and making good choices actually are skills that employers, future spouses, and even friends look for, but also that there's a success sequence, that you can make certain choices and be guaranteed that you won't live a life of poverty. When they hear these positive risk avoidance messages, they can clearly see how this is not just a benefit for them here and now, but it's a benefit for them in the future. And that's what sexual risk avoidance education programs are all about.
Yeah, I think human sexuality is one of the most confusing topics that teenagers face right now.
So both as a state representative and as a parent, it's critical that our children learn actual facts when it comes to some of the largest decisions that they make. So as they go through their adolescence, I'm just glad that we have an organization like Decisions, Choices, and Options that provides my children and yours true north, actual facts on how to make those large decisions in life that sometimes, once made, cannot be undone.
I've been in that situation where I'm telling a teenager she's pregnant. I've been in that situation where I've had a teenager tell me he's not sure what he's going to do. He can't get a job, he's 15, and he's expecting a baby.
I found out that I was pregnant my senior year of high school, and everyone had an opinion about what I should do. I had a classmate tell me that my life was over and that I should probably just go ahead and have an abortion. No one told me about adoption. It never came up. None of my classmates, none of my teachers ever mentioned that adoption was an option. And I am so incredibly thankful that Decisions, Choices, and Options came to my school and educated my classmates on the truth about teen pregnancy.
And honestly, if it weren't for the fact of that deeply rooted faith that my parents gave me, that foundation that because I was adopted, I was chosen to do something more with my life, that adoption is definitely the most rewarding option, because God has created a life, and that life has purpose, and that purpose needs to be fulfilled.
Well, the biggest difference between DCO and other organizations is that we're the only agency that goes in and educates students about the 3 options that are facing her when looking at an unplanned pregnancy: parenting, abortion, and adoption. And the reality is, if she chooses to parent that child, we see that she will most likely not graduate from high school, be living in poverty, and will not be marrying the child's father.
I was certainly not the first girl at my high school that was pregnant. So I can't say that it was taboo to be pregnant, but to choose adoption was unheard of. My classmates got to hear from somebody other than me that adoption is actually a selfless, loving decision. I didn't choose adoption because I didn't want my son. I didn't choose adoption because I didn't love him. I chose adoption because I love him so much that I wanted him to have more than I had. I wanted him to have 2 parents.
So now we had the impact of a fatherless child, and those statistics are pretty devastating. We see an increase in homelessness, poverty, suicide rate for all those children that grow up without a father in the home.
It is shocking and astounding, I think, when you look at the economic impact of things like teenage pregnancy.
I'll never forget a few years ago, after a presentation, a young lady came up to me and said, I was going to have an abortion. But after looking at your information and what I saw today, I realized that that child has a heartbeat and has brainwaves, and I'm not going to choose an abortion for the child. I'm either going to parent or I'm going to make an adoption plan for that child. And that was 6 years ago. And so I'm thinking today about the child that's running around today because DCO came into the classroom. And I'm thinking, how many other children are out there today that we saved their life? And that's why we do what we do.
Decisions, choices, and options have been coming here for 11 years since I first started back in 2009. And we're grateful that they come in and share resources and give factual information to our students here at Greenboro High School. We think it's very important in today's society that our students learn boundaries. And this program has been a great asset to teaching our kids to set boundaries so that they can have healthy relationships.
Something that's really amazing that we get to do with DCO is we get to come in and teach the students about what a healthy relationship looks like. We get to go over with them what's healthy, what's unhealthy, how does that apply to me, how does that apply to the relationships that I want. And a big part of that is them up front knowing what their value and what their worth is, because I think we all know that has a huge impact on the love that we receive and on the value that we expect other people to treat us with.
You know, I think that DCO does an amazing job of going into the school and teaching them about consequences of choices, and that they're real and lasting.
I'm able to physically hear and see the students' reaction to the information that we give them. After class, my students will come up to me and thank me for being there and telling them all this truth. They share with me about never hearing about self-worth before, not knowing about the needs of their heart and having to fill them in healthy ways. They are also very vulnerable about the information going on in their family, different events and things that they've experienced, and ask, for my help, and I'm able to point them to the right direction to have trusted adults take care of them and make sure that they're making healthy decisions from here on out with maybe mistakes they've made in the past.
The students in middle school need to hear this information. They're so impressionable. They need to hear it in middle school before all these issues start coming. So I really rely on this program for my classes.
I fully support the work of DCO. My husband and I financially support DCO. We know that it is so very important to invest in the lives of our students. I'm grateful that DCO, they're speakers of life, and they are speakers of truth, which is a rare thing in our culture today.
In recent years, DCO has faced increasing challenges and attacks by those who don't believe that the message of risk avoidance or avoiding the consequences and lifelong impact of sexual activity is important. In the 1960s, groups like Planned Parenthood, the Playboy Foundation, and SECUS, or as they're known today, Sex Ed for Social Change, began developing comprehensive sex ed materials and curricula and distributing them through public schools across the country. But DCO teaches them the exact opposite of all this. Our programs teach positive life skills, making decisions based on facts, not feelings, valuing themselves, valuing others, valuing their future. We want them to lead successful, healthy, happy, full lives. And we want their family in the future to be impacted positively by the choices that they've made today as a teenager.
Our church supports this ministry through our missions budget, but my wife and I personally support this ministry too because it's an organization and a ministry that we believe in. Young people today, probably more than any time in history, have voices coming at them in warp speed. They are hearing things from the internet, from music, from friends, from television, from movies, and very little of what they hear is of a biblical foundation or anything similar to a Christian worldview. So I want to encourage you to prayerfully consider getting involved in praying for, in giving to, and in speaking words of encouragement for DCO.
One of the things that we need is for more of us to support them. We need DCO in more school systems. We need DCO out there teaching more children what true north is so that they can make wise decisions and that they can truly meet their full potential. So today, tonight, tomorrow, whenever you can, if you can donate to DCO, if you can support this mission, I promise you it will be money that is well invested.
My greatest concern is not that the destructive forces of the comprehensive sex ed agenda are working hard to destroy our children's future and their understanding of life and sexuality, but that those of us who are teaching light and hope need to grow stronger, more prevalent, and we need more people to join us. We need parents on our team teaching this material to their children. We need community organizations. We need you to be on our team. And I believe, and I hope that you believe as well, that they are a cause worth fighting for, and that you would join us.
Now that you know what we do, let's talk about who DCO serves in Robertson County.
DCO serves over 1,000 students in the Robertson County area. Through our programs, students are directed in a success value-oriented system that is reflected in the overall effectiveness rates of our test. Just last year, we saw a 10% increase in students choosing abstinence after they saw our program. We also saw a 22% decrease in favorability toward abortion and a 60% increase in favorability toward adoption. These statistics show us that not only is DCO effective in our message, but that students are learning that choosing sexual abstinence helps them achieve their educational and financial goals for their future. And that's what we want for a better and healthier society for everyone.
DCO has always provided our educational programs free of charge to our local school systems. That is only possible because of the investment of champions like you who believe in and support our mission. The average cost to provide DCO programs is $30 for every student that we serve, which is really a small investment in the future of our youth. It cost DCO $31,000 to serve Robertson County students. Today, we've raised $2,600, so we're still $29,000 short in providing services to the Robertson County students. And that's why we're asking you to join with us in educating your friends, church members, and community leaders to partner with us in the investment of our youth.
So you've heard from our team of educators serving in your local schools, in your community, and I hope that you've been impressed with the work that they're doing and the impact that they're making in the lives of the young people. So if you believe that the work that the DCO education team in your communities is important to the success and the hope and the health of your young people, I'm going to ask you a question. Would you pray and would you consider joining our team? Would you become a part of DCO? And by doing that, you can be the one who helps to reach another student in your community. We want you to join our Life Preservers Club. It's a very elite and special club. These are monthly donors, the folks that want to give to DCO on a monthly basis, and many of them choose to give the $30 a month that it takes to reach a student. So over the course of a year, they've allowed DCO to reach 12 students. A lot of people choose to give $50, $75, or even $100 a month. And we would welcome you to become a part of our Life Preservers Club. Right now, we have 41 members of our Life Preservers Club. And by the end of the year, we need to have at least 125 members. So by the end of 2020, if you consider a gift of $30 a month, $50, $75, or $100, an investment in the future of the young people of your community, then we'll be able to reach that goal. Thank you so much for being part of this virtual community event. We hope that you will share this with your friends, your family, neighbors, church members, anyone in the community that you feel need to know about what DCO is doing in the schools of your area. Thanks again for being part of this. We hope to see you soon.